So let me make sure I have my weeding tool here. So I have a weeding tool. There are really cheap versions of this at the hardware store. So I weeded this out for you first, okay? So you can see this. This has clear plastic on the back. They just changed that about, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And it used to have like white with green grid lines on the back. But now they made it like a clear plastic. This is a little bit thinner. I left one letter here to weed, and what you have to do is you want to get like right up under, and sometimes you can just get this with your fingernail, but you want to get right up under the letter and then be able to pull it out with your fingers, okay? So what we're going to do with this is we're going to show you how to transfer it. I have a piece of transfer paper here. You also have the links for this. This is, I'm using it the second time, which I love it the second time because it doesn't stick like glue. The first time when I use this transfer paper, I actually put it on my clothing or my apron to lint it up and then put it on my vinyl, okay? So you have your welcome. See if that'll stay right there. You have your welcome, and what you're going to do is you're going to lay this right over here, okay? Right over the top, okay? And then what you want to get is a credit card or some sort of card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth down on this, okay? And then what we're going to do, just save that, you're going to need that again at the end. I actually, you know what, before we do this, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to trim around this. I actually don't want it that far out. So I don't want this to be on my painting that much. So I'm going to leave about an inch because I don't want, we're going to sponge the paint on here. And I don't want to sponge my canvas. But, so I don't want it too close, but I also don't want that so far out. So I'm just going to take that off of there, my scissors off to the side so we have our welcome. I'm going to put our basket up here so you can have that behind there. And you're going to peel off the clear plastic on the back, not on the front, okay? So you want all the insides of the letters to make sure that they stay on there. Look, smooth that down really good. So this is garbage, all right? And what we're going to do is you're going to find your placement. I tell everybody in class, don't go by our cutting skills. You have to like eyeball your lettering to make sure that it is right. Now I want this like half over the basket, half on the foreground. So you want to eyeball your lettering and try to get that right. So I'm going to go, I think this is pretty good, pretty good. I think I'm going to go, I think I have it. Not sure though, you never know. Really good at eyeballing like when we do our welcome signs or wood signs and things like that. But I'm always nervous on a painting. Okay, so I don't try to stick down. We're taking this card again. I like to rub around the letters. I don't really rub too much around the edges because I don't want that to adhere and pull my paint off, okay? So this time you're pulling off the front portion, which is here, a lot easier. Again, making sure you're holding this down with one hand, making sure, see, that wants to come up there in the center. And scrub that back down, okay? See, now it's staying. Make sure you don't lose the inside of your E. And scrub that back down. Sometimes you'll have to pull it with your finger and get it to stay. Okay, and it still wants to come up. Scrub that back down. Where they just grab their nail and hold on to that, where I keep rolling it back down and pulling it back up, okay? So there that is. You can save this if you want to. This time I already used it once, so I'm going to toss it, okay? Got my sign container. And so what I'm going to do is make sure that's smoothed down because I don't want any paint to seep under here. Here's another thing. Don't wet your sponge. I cut up one of those like those circular yellow sponges we use for pottery. I cut them in fours and use this. Don't add water to this sponge at all. You want to make sure that it's nice and dry. The other thing, you know how we pull our paints off to the sides? I'm going to do that for this as well. I kind of want this rustic. The other one I felt came out too white and then I added some tan to it. So I'm going to start out with tan and then maybe, and I'm just going to sponge this in. Don't use a lot of paint. We don't want it to seep under. And so if you want it brighter, I'd rather do 2 coats And I if you get it on your painting here, what you do is just get your paint rag and you will wipe that off afterwards with a little bit of water, but get to it fairly quickly, okay? Let me see if I like the coloring. I start pulling it off and just do an edge usually and see if I like the coloring, but I like it. I can tell right away. I want that. That's the coloring that I wanted in the first place before. So what you have to do with this, I'll make sure there's that mark, not that mark there. So I went off just a little bit there. So what you want to do with this, and you can wait until this dries a little bit, and a lot of people do, so they don't smear their paint, but I'm going to try to show you so you don't have to wait. But you want to get up and under these middle parts. Try not to cover it. And sometimes, once you lift it, you can just grab it, okay? And then I have 2 E's to get, which are little tiny pieces. You want to like get right under it. Again, the girls do these with their nails. I cannot. I have no nails. I can't. I cut my nails just because of all the paint all the time. There you have it.